Do you want to become a VTuber? Do you have the creative capabilities to become a VTuber, but absolutely no idea where to start it? Well, I can help you. I have made many models in the last couple weeks, and I think I've gained a right to say I know how to make the models now. So in this little series I'm doing, I'm going to teach you how to create the art to make a VTuber model. I'm going to break everything down, so there's going to be multiple videos in this series. If one of the videos that you're looking for in particular isn't up yet, it means it's coming in the next couple of days. So don't worry, I do daily uploads, so it shouldn't be too long. Today, let's start with the eyes. Personally, I make my models in Procreate, but I'm hoping to upgrade that sometime soon. I want to start off with how to actually set up your canvas. So what you want is a really high resolution, the highest you can go. Now in Procreate, you're limited to your layer size and how much storage you have. So you want to go as big as you can while getting as many layers as possible. I have this preset up canvas size called VTuber. This one right here. This is the canvas size I work on, and obviously depending on the model, you will want more or less. Like for a full body model, you'll want a lot more layers, but for just a head up or bust up, you can work with a lot less layers. For this one, it gives me 80 layers, and that is like a perfect, and this is sort of a perfect size that keeps it high resolution, no matter what you want to do. Like if you just want to do a head up or like the full body, it gives you a good resolution. If you're like me in Procreate, if you're not, I'll put a thing where you can skip to on the screen. You want to, depending on what you need to do actually, there's models that, you know, have fully symmetrical features and they're front on facing, which is what my model is. And there's also 3/4 length models. I made one of these before. I have to explain both of those differently, so I probably won't do the 3/4 model yet because they're very different and they're not as popular, but I'll do it another time. What you want to do in Procreate is go to the canvas in the settings, and you can turn on your drawing guide, and then you can go into edit drawing guide and press on the symmetry tool. You can play with it and make it as thick or as thin as you want. And then we have a line here, and then see on the size in the layers it says that it's assisted, and you can turn this on. You're going to need to turn this on for every layer, so just make sure you do that. Turn on drawing assist in each layer, so you go into it after you add a layer, and then you press drawing assist, this little feature here. And that is how you set up your Procreate for drawing a VTuber model. I have this little template here that I set up earlier just to give you sort of an overlook of how we do it. I'm going to teach you how to do it, but for now this is the basic. For the eyes, you need to separate a lot of pieces because you have to imagine you're going to be blinking, you're going to be moving, you're going to be tilting, you know, there's a lot of things to do. So I have them all separated. All the different colors are different layers that you will need to have in whatever drawing program you need. You don't need to use Procreate. As you can see, there's a lot of different things. I'll upload this, but I might just separate this now so you can see better. So every one of these pieces is separate. You can have more pieces or you can have less pieces depending on what you want to move. So this piece is the eyeshadow. Actually, I won't write everything because it's gonna get boring. This is the eyeshadow. This is the eye crease, what goes above the eye. You're going to want that separate. This is the top eye, so like the eyelid, the top bit. These are the top eyelashes. This is the little corner piece, so when you have an eye, you have a piece down here. Depending on what kind of eyes you draw, obviously. But usually you'll have a piece down here to sort of kind of connect the bottom and top. This piece is the sclera. This is the whites of the eye, basically. This is the actual iris. This is the eyelights, which I'm struggling to bring up. This is the bottom eyelid. This is the bottom eyeshadow. And this is the bottom eyelash. There's a lot of pieces there, but it's actually not that difficult. It just takes sort of an outsider perspective to see how these things will move, right? I'll insert some footage of me moving an eye in VTube Studio so you can see what it looks like. So to actually make this eye, I'll show you how to do it. Obviously it won't be like perfect because, you know, we're just doing it quickly. So I don't know about you, but when I start drawing the eye, I start with the top eyelid. So that's our top eyelid done. Now, that is one piece done. We have done one piece. Because you want to move this separately to blink and stuff, you want this separate. So let's go on to another layer. Usually move this to the top. So I'm going to do the bottom eyelid. Okay, so that is the bottom eyelid. You want this separate as well because when you're blinking and stuff, this is going to move, okay? So another layer. I know, it's a lot of layers. You'll get used to it, don't worry. I'm going to draw this inner piece that I was talking about earlier, just to connect sort of the bottom and the top eyelid, just to make it look good. And here is a quirky thing about making a VTuber model. So it won't necessarily happen with this piece, but when you're making a piece like this that goes underneath something, right, you need to be aware that they move independently. So you're going to want to make them look finished in each piece. So I could have kept it like that, where it was like this, right? But if it moved in a way where it was visible, that would look really bad underneath your model. So finish off pieces like that and try and color in everything. I think I'm actually going to add some eyelashes to our little girl. Now the eyelashes you want to keep separate because they look really good separate when you... Oh my god, my palm project is not working right now. Okay, you want to keep the eyelashes separate because they're going to want to move on their own. So now we have the top eyelashes done. I'm going to leave them like that. Let's do the bottom eyelashes. You can layer on top. And it's the same thing. So we have our first couple layers done. Now let's get on to drawing the actual eye and the iris. So I'm going to do this different color so it's more visible. Let's do a nice little blue. Okay. So when you're drawing the iris, you want to make it a complete shape. So it's going to look like that. It's going to look weird. Obviously don't change the size, do whatever you want. But mine's going to look like that. And you want to make sure it's a complete shape because otherwise, okay, let's say you're moving it. You're moving your eye to the right. And then different parts of the eye are visible at different times, you know, like the corner is more visible at some times and the other corner is more visible at other times. So you need to draw the entire thing basically. It's just color in both of these. Just pretend this is, you know, finished and beautiful, okay? Let's put this back in the middle because I moved it a tiny bit. You won't have to do that, don't worry. You don't have to wiggle it about. So we have our eyes colored in. Actually here, I'll add some more so that it's more realistic. The funny thing with these eyes, right, is that usually when you're drawing with art, you'll want to draw a pupil on top of them. But with a VTuber model, you kind of want to keep it in the same layer as this. You don't want to create another layer for the pupils. So I'm going to draw a little, actually no, I won't draw hearts. I'll draw just a little dude. And you can obviously create this in another layer and then merge it down. Wow, those are off center. Okay. But yes, put it in the same layer because I'll show it when I'm actually rigging it. I'll probably put it in the clip, but you'll want this to move at the same time as everything else, and putting it in a different layer doesn't really work with it. So just leave it in the same layer. So you're going to want to create the eye lights next. So we have another layer as well. And put them wherever you want. Just do whatever sort of eye lights you normally do. Little shiny ones. The only layers that are supported in rigging software that you use is the multiply layer. So don't put it on anything else. You can change the opacity and everything. Do whatever you want with that. But if you're going to use one of these little additive layers, only put it on multiply, okay? We have our little eye lights in. They're all separate. Let's go back and add in our sclera, which is the whites of the eye. And I'm going to draw underneath the top eyelid and the bottom eyelid, like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to make sure that looks okay. Yep, it looks fine on the bottom. And looks fine on the top. Might actually extend it a teeny bit there. Cool. Perfect. You can add your little shading in a different layer if you want, but you don't have to. You know, just do what seems fine or normal to your character. We have everything from our character done. So the main parts of the eyes are done anyways. Now we have to work on the outside parts of the eyes. We already did the eyelashes, so we have to do the eyeshadow and the eye crease. And I'm just going to add a little crease Obviously you can make it as detailed as you want, like this is just simplistic tutorial for you to follow. I'm going to add the eyeshadow on top of this layer. So, draw this. Let's make a nice little pinky eyeshadow. Oops. I'm actually gonna make it underneath the eyeliner, top eyeliner. Cool. And you're gonna want to do the same with the bottom eyeliner. Let's make this red. So, these are all the pieces that we need. And that was done. We're all done. That's good. And when you're importing this, what I usually do is I'll draw them on the same layer with the symmetry tool, and then I'll disconnect them. So what you can do is just select one side and then, you know, copy and paste it, and then you have just one side, and do that for both of them, and then you only need to break one eye. Or you could just not copy the other side on VTuber Studio. I'll also show the eyebrows because that's easy. So the eyebrows move independently of another, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. We have little eyebrows. Shade them however you want, do whatever you want, but you're going to want to make sure that these are separate. So now these are separate eyebrows, you can see in this layer here. And that's it for eyebrows. They're done once you have drawn them. So this is what we started off with. It's a bit scary, but it's here. I'm going to leave this up here and you can look at it and digest it, but I'd probably just recommend watching the video a couple of times so you can see what is going on. But these are the main pieces you need for an eye and also some eyebrows, but they're easier to create your VTuber art. So I hope you enjoyed. And that's all from me. And now you have everything you need in order to create the eyes for your model. I'll be back with more videos like this, so if you like it, please subscribe and comment below what you need help with or if you have any questions or anything. I'll see you next time.